Mary Jane, basically, she believes that she has superpowers to bring on all of those all those introverted entrepreneurs who are working away on their businesses that they're so passionate about, but then they've got to get over the shyness, they've got to get out there, they've got to get into the world and get people to actually notice their business. So that's what you spend your days doing, isn't it?
That is.
Okay, fantastic. What are you going to tell us tonight? You're going to take us through what the unexpected taught me about living life more fully.
Yeah, something slightly different.
Yeah, something slightly different. And I've seen the practice of this, so I'm really looking forward to this. Cool. Okay, off to you.
Awesome. So, what's one thing that you all know will happen, but often comes unexpectedly?
Babies.
I'll tell you in a minute. So one cold, dark February morning last year, I woke up and I didn't quite know what kind of unexpected would greet me that day. I got up in the morning, it was a normal day, it was quiet in the house, got up and went for my morning walk. When I went for my walk, when I came back to the house, I was thinking about all the things that I was going to do that day. So the phone calls I was going to make, all the tasks that I had, you know, the kind of stuff that you have on your mind as an entrepreneur. And along with a slight pang in my heart for the fact that I'd had my first Valentine's Day as single in 15 years, and it was kind of a bit on my mind as I opened my front door and kind of walked through. What I found greeted me was something that was completely unexpected. It wasn't the quiet that I'd left behind when I left for my walk, and it wasn't the sound of people getting ready to go to work in the morning as I expected. It was the one thing that we all know will happen, but comes to us unexpectedly. Death. So not the kind of death that's a skeleton dressed up in a black cloak with a scythe, or if you're into Terry Pratchett like I am, the rat skeleton with a scythe. It's actually the more serious real life thing of a family friend who is staying with me actually passing away. So you can imagine this was a very painful and traumatic experience, and I'm doing my utmost to not actually show how painful that was right now, because it will really bring up some tears and be very hard for me to continue. But it was the passing of my auntie. So I'm from the Philippines, and we call our family friends aunties. So my auntie passed away unexpectedly, and what it taught me, apart from what it taught me is what I'm going to share with you right now. Those are the three things I'm going to share. So having to deal with the paramedics and the police and the coroner and all the kind of the stress of the days and weeks that followed, I learned a few things that I really do want to share about the unexpected. So the first thing I want to share with you is that when you are confronted with a situation, you don't know what's going to happen until you get there. Okay, there's a voice that will guide you to take the steps, the right steps, when you actually tune in and you listen to it. So the unexpected can really be navigated when you tune in and listen to that instinct. So it was instinct that guided me to take over talking to the paramedics on the phone, the ambulance service on the phone, to do CPR on my auntie while I waited for the paramedics to arrive, and to try and keep everybody calm and while we were waiting to hear what had happened with my auntie, as well as keep a level head to deal with the questions and arranging the arrangements for the coroner and the funeral in the days ahead as well. It was also instinct that helped the people around me to reach out to our support network and get people to come and support us in that moment. At first I thought this was a really annoying thing to do, because actually as an introvert having more people around to manage is not a good thing. But in the end it turned out to be the right thing, because it did give us the support that we needed after the immediate stress had passed. So that really showed me that there's support for us out there if we actually ask for it when we need it and we allow it in. The final thing that is something that I actually got reminded of in that moment, and that's life is really short. Okay, we don't know when it's going to end and when our time is going to come. We can work hard, but we should enjoy life right now and not put it off for the future. So my auntie, as a Filipino, as we all do, we work very, very hard. She worked very hard for her family in the Philippines to provide for them. She'd actually made plans to go on holiday and actually retire a few months later, but she didn't get there. She'd worked so hard and she didn't get to enjoy the things that she wanted to enjoy. And so that really showed me that we need to, yes, work hard and plan and provide for the future, but also take care of right now, because death is the thing that comes to everybody, but it's really what we do with things before it comes that really matters.
I'm sure you'll agree when somebody's sharing something so personal, to hold it together and actually still get the points across that they want to get across is pretty amazing, especially when it's their first first appearance at club night.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done. Judges.
Okay, can I do something?
Sure.
Okay,
Do something.
As long as she gives you permission.
Yes.
Go for it.
What are you gonna-
Okay, so
You can touch me, but it depends on like what
I'm gonna explain what I want to do. So here's what I loved. You're touching about something that is so personal to you, and I'm sure everyone in the room can relate to it in some level. And I would love to see you really get personal even more. And I know it's raw, and I know I can still feel it's really fresh for you. So I'm gonna kind of like urge you to really explore this talk.
Okay.
And do it and really kind of push the envelope. I want to do one thing with you just for you to get a sense, because I think that if you just dare to just like let the heart open and be vulnerable here, everyone will just wrap you in this huge hug, this kind of virtual hug, and just be right there with you. And it'll bring such a level of connection. Because right now I feel like you're telling the details and you're skating the surface.
Because the tears, like I can feel the tears are just.
I know.
Just there.
So I totally, I get where you're at, and I know that there's processing, and I'm going to invite you, if you're willing. Can I stand behind you
Sure.
and put my hand on your heart? Okay. So I want you to just pick like one little segment of that story that you told. I'm going to put my hand on your heart. It's just so that you could just tap into this heart energy here. And just feel my heart, feel my hand there for a moment. So you just go right into the heart space. Feel the emotion that you feel. And then just go ahead and just share a segment of that story, just one little segment.
I have to think of a segment. Hang on a second. So as I was walking and I came back home, I was thinking about all the tasks that I had to do, the calls that I had to make, as well as the fact that my 15-year relationship had ended the year before, and it was the first Valentine's Day that I was single in a very long time.
Thank you. Give her a hand, please. Thank you for going there. Did everyone feel the difference?
I have goosebumps.
Just I mean, well, and I know, and I want to congratulate you for how brave that was. But I don't know if you felt just energetically that you were in your emotion, and you shared that emotion, and immediately everyone felt you, and that vulnerability and openness was so powerful. Your voice kind of dropped about an octave, and all of a sudden it felt so real. So thank you for being here, and really keep going and like keep doing this. And as you it never gets kind of easier in a sense, but you'll get more comfortable with sharing the story, and be able to almost kind of tell the story and be authentic, and then also be able to share the lessons as well. So it's a journey, and I think you did amazing.
Thank you.
For
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry. I did say the tears are just there. So.
No, it's okay. Right. So this is a great demonstration as a speaker, to have that toolkit and that ability to go there. But because you're doing it from a place of empowerment, it's not a place of feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Right? It's a place of this is what I experienced, and I'm sharing this, and I'm sharing this because it will help all of you out there, right? And it's that ability to go into that toolbox, pull it out, and then put it back in. Yeah. And that will come with time as a speaker, as the more you do this, and you'll be able to tap in and keep that feeling real without
the tears.
No, with tears. Tears is okay. There's nothing wrong with tears, but without collapsing or without going into your head going, oh my God, I'm crying in front of all these people. It's okay.
It's not the first time I've cried in front of a room full of people, by the way. So.
I know, but it's going on your head. I can see that and you're not comfortable with that. When it's done from a place of empowerment, and you use emotion well, and you use raw emotion, it's very powerful. It's when people use that in either feel sorry for me in a manipulative way that it's wrong. So what you've demonstrated today is really beautiful. It's great, and I think the more you can learn to own that and utilize that in an empowering way, the stronger this will be. The other thing I would just say is I would flip the structure around slightly, and I would almost start with imagine.
Imagine, okay.
You know, you've gone for this walk, and even just I woke up. It was a normal day, and I've gone for this walk, and and I come home, and even go to that moment like, Auntie, Aunt, that was me. You know, and we can work on that. I think because I'm aware we're slightly over.
Yeah, cool. Thank
Great
you.
work. Really
Thanks.
So, in terms of the storytelling, so again, I had no idea you were going to go there. I thought it was, here's a tale of the unexpected, something like funny. And Elliot started touching on it a bit there. But I think if you could maybe act the story out a little bit more, because I can understand why you were literally just telling the story, because it's difficult. And I think the more you repeat it. But if you're kind of, actually, rather than just go, and then here, and this is what was happening, and, I was walking along, and I was in my head, if you actually kind of walking along, so there I was, walking back to my house, and I was thinking all these things, and I was like, I've just been dumped. And then I opened the door, and like literally show your face, you can cry, whatever, but I feel that actually acting out the story, rather than just telling it, actually get in the story, kind of really, like the emotional drop there, and the impact would have been way more. It's something to practice.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you.
So,
Oh, sorry.